Joop. Headphone highlight. I'll take down the green screen for this. Oh gosh. Okay. So you appreciate it. Well, of course, man. I know you have a pretty strict crunch time for this, so we'll try and get through this pretty quick. Interesting thing that happened. We've been going down our planar magnetic headphone category for a good couple of weeks now, and we more or less finished it, but something happened, and now we are kind of jumping back on there just a little bit for this one last highlight. Yeah, headphone highlight, woo! This is what you're here for. All right, it's time, yes. Yeah, about a week ago or so, I got a message on one of my headphone highlights for the Argons, the Modhouse audio Argons. And that message happened to be from Mr. Ryan over at Modhouse himself, who is with us in the chat tonight to honor us because he's an awesome dude. Ryan reached out to me to inform me because he noticed that I had the Argons and I really appreciated the Argons and decided, I'm a cool guy and he's a cool guy and cool guys do cool things for each other. So he reached out to me and he told me that he came up with a new, I'm going to call it an upgrade for the Argon T60s, which is what we have here, what we're wearing today. We've seen these before, but we haven't seen them quite like this. You might not be able to notice it quite from your eye alone, but we'll talk about it. So these are the T60 Argons, the T60 mods from Modhouse Audio, and they're beautiful and they're wood and they're amazing. Yeah, thank you for coming. Wood, yes, luxury wood. So yeah, he had an upgrade for his T60 Argons, which were already really amazing. We had our talk about it before, and we gushed about them. And his mod consists of actually two things. It's a set of new pads and an additional additional felt insert, dampening insert, an additional baffle to put into the actual housing of the driver. And what's super cool is these new pads. You're not going to be able to really tell the difference on the camera, I'm pretty sure, but the old pads were quite lovely. They are ZMF pads. These are the old pads I have here, right here. They're ZMF pads, and they're that kind of microfiber suede, and they're lovely and they're great. But Ryan is a crazy person and is a perfectionist. And, he played around some more, and he actually, in partnership with Dakoni, designed his own pad. So now we have on here right now, these are a new pad that have been very purposefully designed with Modhouse Audio and produced by Dakoni. So it's a quality Dakoni pad, as we would expect, because Dakoni is freaking amazing. And it is something that Modhouse Audio, that Ryan at Modhouse Audio worked with them himself to help design this. So this is a Dakoni pad that is very purposefully designed to work for Modhouse. Okay, so that has to be said. That's a very special thing, in my opinion. So they are similar, but you will notice that there is a bit of a difference. The ZMF pads have this kind of oval shape, while the new pads have a very circular shape. There is still this microfiber feel to them. However, the microfiber, I have to say, on the new pad, on the Modhouse Dakoni pad, is actually quite a bit softer. I don't know, that might be just because maybe I have a bit more wear and tear on the ZMF pads, but man, they are soft and lush and plush and squishy and wonderful. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I mentioned in the original highlight for the T60s that the ZMF pads were a little bit firmer than the original recommendation for the T50 Argons, where it was the protein leather pads, and I mentioned that these ZMF suede pads are just a little bit more firm. I would say that that firmness is now a lot less. Okay, not a lot less, but because these are still very, very soft pads. But now we're much closer to regular Argon stiffness and firmness in the pads. So, well, okay, I want to make sure I'm following my usual trajectory here. So the build, we're going to make this really quick because the build is the same build for the Argons, the T60 Argons that we talked about before. Dakoni Choice Suede, yes. And the ear opening is around 70 millimeters. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Yes, now working with a 70 millimeter opening in the pad rather than something that is smaller and oval. So you have a lot more a lot more opening for the driver. And that's why this isn't just a pad swap modification, a pad swap upgrade, because having a much larger surface area for the driver to peer out from the pad, it affects what he initially had for the dampening and the baffling. And when you get this upgrade, not only do you get the set of the new pads, but you also get a set of like perfectly laser cut out baffle inserts that just very simply, I pull this off to show you, but it's kind of a pain in the, you know what? No, it's important, so we're gonna show you. So take a look. Ba-bam. You notice the round piece in the center here that has the square cutout? That's the new piece. That's the new baffle right there. And that baffle very easily, very simply just sticks right in there on top of what was the existing baffle design for the T60 Argons. Okay? And this is important because the direction of the sound coming from the driver has changed because of how the new pads are designed. So this additional insert helps control, what was it, Ryan? The more of the like the 5,000 hertz range in particular, I think you said. But nevertheless, it helps control the direction of the sound because, again, the sound is now being directed in a very different way because the pads are of a different design. So that's super cool, in my opinion, that Ryan not only is giving us these super amazing, awesome custom pads that he had partnership with Dakoni, like, holy crap, that's super awesome, but he's smart enough to know that in doing that, his original dampening design had to be a little bit altered. Yeah, approximately 5K, good. Reduces the peak. Larger ear pad opening equals more exposure to the baffle and more reflections, hence the 5 kilohertz peak. Got it. So yeah, the kilohertz, that peak helps negated by this new baffle design. So that's what you get. You get the new pads and you get the new baffle. And it's very, very easy to just swap it out, you know? That new baffle just perfectly fits into that already circular design that he has left there. It's almost as if, and I don't, you can, dude, if you actually planned that, you should say so, because it really does almost seem as if you future planned for that kind of thing. Like, damn, it fits so perfectly. Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's super interesting. So there's your build. Comfort. The comfort is very similar to how it was before, but I will say it is actually more comfortable. These pads are softer, ever so slightly. They are less firm, ever so slightly. And because they are so much larger in terms of the radius here, they don't hug your ear as much, so your ear actually just has more room to breathe and it doesn't get as warm. So comfort is actually improved with this new modification. Haha, no, it was just a happy coincidence. Really, that's amazing. You should have done it that way from the start in retrospect, but didn't seem necessary with the ZMF pads. See, that's even more amazing to me that you were able to just like that find this super simple, easy solution for this upgrade. So, yeah, the pads are more comfortable. And that's almost hard to believe because we already gave the original T60 Argons an almost unbeatable 9 clouds of comfort. That's our comfort system scale, Shadow Wolf. Clouds. How many clouds of comfort does a headphone have? We're on cloud 9 with these before the upgrade. The T60 Argons were on cloud 9 clouds. They didn't quite hit the mark for the regular T50 Argons, which were just a little bit lighter and a little bit less clamp force, so they were a little bit more comfortable. But I'm gonna say, and not just because Ryan is here. Let me make that clear. I might think Ryan's a super awesome guy, but I'm not just saying these things to appease him. He understands and respects that my opinion here is my own. These really do offer enough additional comfort that I'm gonna have them tied with the T50 Argons for comfort. Yes, they are still a little bit heavier, but it's so close that I have to put them neck to neck. So these are now, they went from 9 clouds of comfort to 9.5 clouds of comfort. So fabulous. More comfortable. Aw, shucks. All right. So now the part that we're all really here for, the sound. I loved the T60s, the T60 Argons in their original form. They were a more mature, more sophisticated Argon. That's how I describe them. And I will admit that I didn't do a particularly good job in my T60 Argon highlight, kind of breaking down the sound. I'll try and do a better job with that today. But, you know, the T50 Argons are just bombastic, crazy, awesome, huge sounding, fun time headphones. And the T60 Argons kind of took more control, gave you more detail in the high ends, gave you a bit more richness in the mid-range. You sacrificed a little bit in the bass range, so it wasn't super thwompy and punchy like the T50 Argons are. But it was a lot more controlled, a lot more clean. And you also sacrificed a little bit of soundstage for some more intimacy. So this upgrade has made almost the ideal middle ground between what the T60 Argons were and what the T50 Argons are. First and foremost, soundstage has improved pretty significantly. It might not be quite to the hugeness that the T50 Argons have quite yet, but it's a heck of a lot closer. The T60 Argons were, they still had a good fair amount of soundstage, but it was a significantly more intimate kind of experience. Rather than being way the hell out here, it was more like in this range. This has found kind of a middle ground of being, you know, a comfortable, immediate, and spacious experience and a full, amazing planet-size experience. So we're in between that now. It is way out there, but still manages to maintain a sense of intimacy, especially with detail. Because a thing that can commonly happen when you add a lot of soundstage is you lose out on your detail. And that was something that the T60 Argons did very, very well. They were a lot more, a lot more neutral level along the Herman curve, and a lot more kind of analytical. That remains these are still a very mature, very sophisticated, very grown-up Argon. They still have very detailed, clean and clear and bright, brilliant sounding high ends that are just slightly quelched enough so that nothing hurts. The mid-range has warmed up a little bit and become a bit more present. It was already a very like vocal and vocal present, enjoyable experience with the regular T60 Argon. Well, now it's even bigger. It's a bigger, more, still very immersive, but larger sounding mid-range. Okay, so it's very intimate. It's very immersive, but it's just more of it. It's just more around you. The big one, though, the big change is the low end. The big change is the bass. The bass extension has gone just wackadoo. That's the term I'm going to use. Wackadoo on the bass extension. It's not to say that the regular T60... Not the regular, they're still the T60 Argons. It's not to say that the T60 Argons before this upgrade didn't have good bass. They had amazing bass, great bass, clean, like precise bass. But now, that clean, precise bass reaches further. The dynamics have improved. If you can believe it, improving the dynamics and extending the bass range. The sub bass on these now is ridiculous. It is like the closest comparison I can think of for the sub bass quality of this now. And this isn't, give me a moment to explain because it's not the best comparison. But the sub bass on these is now almost equivalent to the DT177Xs. The super crazy monster bass cannons. Now, to be clear, the 177Xs are nowhere near as precise and analytical as these are. They're still crazy, like, muddy murder bass machines. But what I'm getting at is the deepness of the bass, the extension of the bass, how far down it goes. This is getting there now. This is at that point. This is hitting those low notes harder than they did before. And it is such a satisfying thing. Such an amazingly satisfying thing. Like, goddamn, man. I was... And a lot of my regulars here on chat can attest to this. After I got the new pad sent to me by our omniscient Ryan over at Modhouse, I was just gushing all weekend about how amazing they sound. Even from day one, I was just talking about the low end and the... Actually, I don't know if I think I kept it kind of secret to you guys, really. I didn't really tell you exactly why it was amazing, but I did say it was amazing. You're a regular. Yeah, it is absolutely the best of both worlds. You are getting the precision and the all right, it is a neutral headphone. The T60 Argon is a very neutral headphone. All right, it's very, very neutral. It might not be an excruciatingly neutral headphone like the Dan Clark. What are those? The Aeons, not the Aeons. The Ether C closed. I just told you it was amazing a lot. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't actually tell you why, but that it was good. I'm a good presenter there. I give you something to look forward to. So yeah, it is. They were a very neutral headphone. They remain a very neutral headphone, but they got some of that T60 Argon fun drizzled on in there. You're still sophisticated. You're still grown up. You're still mature. You still probably don't want to go out and have yourself a an all-night bender and have a hangover in the morning, like you do with the T50s. But now you're like trying to think of a good typical Marslander analogy for this kind of thing. The last time we said the T60s, T60 Argons were like going to the opera with a, getting yourself a nice glass of Chardonnay or something, and not, and just hanging out on like on a balcony with your more sophisticated friends. And this is more like, I don't want to I don't want to like show my age here, but okay, this is a little personal, but this is more what if the T50s are like if I were how I was in high school and I went and I saw oh god, what was their name again? Static X. I saw Static X live when I was in high school. That's what the T50 are. It's just crazy, amazing, huge sounding, bombastic awesomeness. These, for me, are like going to a live world tour of Muse. Like, it's still a hella good time. But I've grown up a little bit. I'm still a little bit of a kid at heart. But, woo boy. Inferno CV says, the T50s, the 30-pack of Bud Light, the T60 is a nice 6-pack of a craft beer. Yes. And then these, I would argue, are not just a craft beer, but a local microbrewery that you just can't find anywhere else. Bam! There you go. Good analogy, yes. Thank you very much, Inferno CV. That handle it. Yeah. These are your local microbrewery that you can't get anywhere else. So, yeah, man, they are, I'm going to put it out there. This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade for the T60 Argons. The T60 Argons were already amazing headphones, but this is all around an improvement. These are now, oh man, they are easily, I mean, they already were. They already were one of my favorite headphones, but now they're like number 2, man. Like they're neck and neck with the T50 Argons now. Like, make no mistake, they still sound a little. They still have a different sound to them than the T50 Argons, but it's a sound I still freaking love, man. Fantastic, Ryan. You're amazing. We love you, and we love these headphones. I love these headphones. Man, are they a good time. And thank you, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to hear these out, try out your new upgrade for these. It's one of the cooler things that's happened to me in quite a long time. So thank you very much, man. You appreciate the kind words. Of course, man. Of course. I'm just telling you exactly as it is. I'm not giving you kind words. I'm giving you the truth, dude. These are freaking kick-ass headphones. These are freaking amazing. I mean, damn. I don't know how you do it, dude. And also, I mean, I hear that your wife is who hand stitches and puts together these head straps. Is that correct? Because these remain as the like most luxurious and comfortable comfort straps I've ever seen in the headphone. I freaking love these things. So if that's true, please give her my utmost gratitude, because this is just lovely. It was her alone for a long time. Now her sister helps sometimes. God, that's so cool. There you go, everybody. This is just a straight up family business. This is like such a small boutique thing, and it's just making incredible effing headphones. It's so cool. I freaking love it, man. Damn. All right. So, in a nutshell, the T60 Argons are amazing. The T60 Argons have been improved. The upgrade is 100% worth it. And yeah, if you got T60 Argons, I would recommend it. Just make your T60 Argons just that much more massive sounding, because it's super worth it, man. Your sister, you and your mom and your aunt all help out. I love that. That's so cool. That's amazing. Give them all big thanks for me, dude. All right, we'll wrap this up. Ryan, thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out with us. I can't tell you how freaking cool it is to have you here with us today. And thank you for, taking the time, because I know it's late for you and I know you gotta go to bed. Hopefully I didn't keep you up too late. Yeah, dude, thank you for everything you do. Freaking awesome. All right. Let's jump back to the game. Yeah, have a good night, man. Thanks again. All right, let's jump back in.